What is going on, guys? We are back for another episode of Pokemon Top 5s. This week we'll be covering my top 5 legendary Pokemon. Now, this is a list that you guys have been asking for literally since day like 1. So I figured, tease it a little bit, let it savor, do some other lists first, and then we're gonna get into this big hitting list here today. Before Scarlet and Violet, I think we only have 2 more after this one, and then we'll have a couple other that come out after Scarlet and Violet. But without further ado, guys, of course you already know this 100% opinionated, and I would love to know your guys' list down below. So without further ado, let us hop in to number 5. Alright, so at number 5, we have the OG legendary, and that is Mewtwo. Mewtwo, the genetic Pokemon, obviously a clone of the Pokemon Mew, and honestly this Pokemon has got nothing but love from the Pokemon Company and fans all over the globe since the day it was announced, the day that it was released. Obviously having 2 Mega Evolution Generation 6 and being absolutely unreal in all situations. Base form has 106 HP, 110 attack, 90 defense, 154 special attack, 90 special defense, and 130 speed. And its 2 Mega forms, 1 physical, 1 special, are just even stronger. So just unreal Pokemon, to be honest with you. The Mega X also gains the fighting type as well, so giving it some coverage against its dark type counterpart, obviously in homage to Pokken Tournament and other places like that. So obviously when you're looking at Mewtwo, you're looking at Nasty Plot, you're looking at Recover, you're looking at its signature move Psy Strike, you're looking at Ice Beam, Hurricane in the newer generations, Fire Blast, Shadow Ball, Calm Mind, Taunt, and Focus Blast. That is the common moves that you will see on a Mewtwo or a Mega Mewtwo Y. And on Mega Mewtwo X, obviously, that even if it doesn't Mega, I mean, it still has a 110 physical attack. By the way, its Mega Mewtwo X is 190 attack, which is just unreal. But low kick is then headbutt, stone edge, earthquake, ice punch. So just a few moves to name when it comes to Mewtwo. Mewtwo is obviously gonna hit you like a truck. And I had a little bit of fun using it. I got to use it in VGC 2016. I used it very casually. VGC 14, 15, and 16 were really the years that I tried to get into competitive. And I did try to use it out. Obviously, the primals were just way more consistent, but Mewtwo was a fun little tech Pokemon. Obviously, anything worked with Groudon that year, and so I do have a little bit of experience. And obviously, using legendaries are weird in game. I find that a lot of people, they either stay clear of using legendaries, or you get them so late that you don't really get to use them. So it's a fun Pokemon, man. Try it out if you haven't. But that is number 5 on this week's top 5 legends. But let us move on to number 4. And coming in at number 4, we have Giratina. Now, this Pokemon is supposed to be the Lucifer of Pokemon, and of course it is the Renegade Pokemon. The Lord of the Underworld himself, the Hades himself. And obviously Giratina has 2 forms, both its dragon form and then its origin form. And I think this was a big inspiration for Legends Arceus, in my opinion, this origin form. And I mean, this Pokemon is just a monster. I mean, in competitive Pokemon, this Pokemon has the nickname of the Great Wall of China for a reason. Pressure, Will-O-Wisp, Toxic, Roar, Dragon Tail, Rest, Sleep Talk. I mean, this thing just stalls and stalls and stalls. Pressure forces you to use your power points twice, and it just stalls you out, just wears you down, heals itself up, keeps going. This with Lugia, I mean, is the ultimate combination of just, I'm gonna stall you for days. but its origin form just goes full send, 120 on both attacks. It's actually a little bit weaker, to be honest, but Heck, Shadow Sneak, Draco Meteor, Dragon Tail, Thunder Wave, Tailwind, Shadow Force, Poltergeist, Earthquake, and Stone Edge. Again, Origin Form is another one that you get to try out in 2016 VGC, and still a little bit underwhelming, but you know, I think unfortunately in that metagame, just everything needed so much bulk, but in singles, Giratina walls everything. Like, I'm talking Giratina walls other legendaries is how crazy this thing is defensively. Very, very fun to use. Just ghost types are traditionally a little bit harder, and obviously your best dragon move lowers your special attack. So you got to be a little bit careful with it, but it is super fun to use. Design-wise, this thing is just elite. Honestly, elite. Like, I know that Mewtwo has the OG and has the heartstrings of people. Giratina design is so cool that it just beats it out to me, and that is why it's number 4. But let us move on to number 3. And coming in at number 3, we have Solgaleo, the Sun Pokemon. This Pokemon's design is just so cool. Obviously comes from Nebby and Cosmog, which is a bit of a unique thing because I don't think any other legendary has an evolution like this. So, especially a 3-stage evolution. So, Solgaleo, you know, very unique, very different. I love the design. The design is absolutely incredible. Excuse me. And obviously it also has a Dusk main form when it combines with Necrozma, but Psychic Steel is a very strong typing. 137 in both of its HP and attack stat with a 107 defense stat, 113 in special attack, so it is like most legendaries, mixed attacker. 89 special defense and 97 speed, still pretty damn fast. Just creeps the slower 90 base speed legendaries a little bit. And obviously this thing is just incredible. Sunsteel Strike is one of the best steel type moves in the entire game. Flare Blitz, Wild Charge fit this Pokemon so well. You know, a lion Pokemon having those moves just looks so cool. Earthquake, Stone Edge, also very good coverage moves. Toxic, Trick Room in doubles, not used a ton. Superpower, Knockoff are both decent moves. Future Sight has been used in the newer generations, and Morning Sun and Teleport have also been fairly useful moves in newer generations as well. Obviously, Morning Sun heals you up 50%. Teleport now is kind of Baton Pass, which is kind of cool in Generation 8. And then Future Sight is just a pretty strong move, but it's kind of a weird move in the later generations. It kind of has a little bit more versatility when you use it with like a Z Crystal or something, but obviously just a super cool Pokemon. The design is unreal. And for me, like, I just really like lions, you know? You know, obviously lions are always something that are kind of noble and respected, and so for me, Solgaleo had to be number 3 on the list, but let us move on to number 2. And coming in at number 2, we have Xerneas, who is one of my favorite legends. I actually have a tattoo of a deer on my arm right now, so Xerneas had a special place in my heart. Obviously, it is the Pokemon of life, and this Pokemon literally is the most broken Pokemon if you can set it up. So let's go over the stats real quick. Obviously, the stud fairy type that it is, 126 HP, 131 in both attack stats, 95 and 98 defensively respectively, and 99 speed. This is also the only Pokemon with a signature. This is also the only legendary Pokemon with a signature move that is not a damaging move. Its signature move is Geomancy, which you gear up and then you get +3. It's just instantaneous. I am better than everyone else. See you later. And this Pokemon is borderline broken. In singles, you can't keep up with the Power Herb. It's honestly game breaking in singles. And this was one of my favorite Pokemon to use in VGC 2016. Obviously, Generation 6 what got me back into Pokemon after Generation 3, basically. So, a long time away from me for Pokemon, and then I came back. Xerneas was what I first saw as a legendary, and I was like, oh, legendaries haven't got any weaker, have they? But yeah, Geomancy or Calm Mind, very good setup moves. Dazzling Gleam and Moonblast are going to be its stab moves, one for multi-target, one for single. Thunder, Focus Blast, and Grass Knot are all moves that sub in as a coverage move. Aromatherapy, Sleep, Talk, and Rest are all ways to heal itself up after it goes for that Geomancy. And then other coverage moves, Psyshock, Hidden Power, Ground, or Fire, Rock Slide, and Close Combat round out what it can do. But this Pokemon is very one-dimensional. It is a setup sweeper. That is what it does. And of course the Aromatherapy, it can be a little bit of a team cleric, but really this thing is there to sweep your opponent. I mean, this is literally the best fairy type in the entire game. And, you know, for me, deers have this special place, right? For me, in my culture anyways, deers represent family, they represent life, they represent all those things, and that's something that I really want to be and strive to be, like a good family, you know, be a good husband someday, be a good father someday. This Pokemon just represents all of that, and for me, that is why it is number 2 on the list. And number 1, I don't think is going to surprise anyone, but let us move on to number 1. And number 1, we have Shamu, who we have used in one of our Nuzlockes before. Kyogre is my favorite legendary on its own. I mean, orcas are my favorite aquatic animal, period. It's one of my favorite animals, period. And obviously Kyogre and Primal Kyogre, we have seen a number of times on this channel. We have been swept by it, we have won with it. We know the power that's inside. You know, this Pokemon is just unreal, and of course one of my favorite Pokemon to use in VGC 2016 when I got to use it. And this Pokemon, its base form, 100 in HP attack, 90 in its physical defense, 150 and 140 as its specials, with 90 speed. And when it primal reverts, because you know your boy Archie and Maxie couldn't get these Pokemon to revert into the right way, 150 in the physical attack and 180 and 160 on the special side respectively. This thing was just absolutely unreal. The thing that I love about Kyogre over Xerneas, on top of just it's one of my favorite animals, was the move pool diversity. You know, like where Xerneas does have some physical moves as coverage moves, Kyogre can just be straight physical as well. And so for me, there are 3 main sets when you're looking at Kyogre. You're looking at a Rest, Sleep Talk, Scald, Ice Beam / Toxic moveset. This is a pretty standard moveset for any bulky water type. The ability to burn, the ability to toxic, the ability to Rest, Sleep Talk. You're able to heal yourself up and stall turns out and weaken both your opponents. Obviously Kyogre's stats are incredible enough that it can withstand any hit from anybody. Then it runs a special moveset, which is the traditional moveset for an offensive water type. Calm Mind with its signature Origin Pulse or Water Spout. Water Spout, obviously if you're at full HP, this is a 150 base power move. Very, very powerful water type spread damage. Ice Beam, Substitute are also pretty common, and Thunder, Scald, and Hydro Pump round out the other coverage moves. I know that when I played, I used Origin Pulse with Ice Beam and Thunder, I believe is what I used, with Protect in VGC, but obviously there are different things you can do. You know, there's just so many options. And then for those feeling a little frisky, feeling a little good about themselves, you can go with a physical move pool. It has Waterfall and Liquidation, 2 very powerful stab, fire, or water moves. Has Earthquake as coverage, which means that you don't even need a Groudon. You can just literally chill with a Kyogre and just go boom, I'm gonna shake the ground with my big ass body, obviously. And then it still runs Ice Beam and Thunder as coverage moves on top of those 2 physical moves, because its special attack is just so high that you don't even have to invest and you still one-shot things with this move pool. But that is our top 5 legends this week. You know, obviously, as always, guys, make sure to leave your list down below. You know, I'd love to see your guys' list. Your guys' lists are always just as incredible as mine. So thanks everyone for watching, and we have 2 more before Scarlet and Violet come out. I'm going to tease them a little bit. I think I want to try to get Megan back on the channel and do a top 5 of her favorite Pokemon, and then we're going to wrap up the pre-Scarlet and Violet era with my top 5 Pokemon, no holds bar. So I think that's a list that you guys have been waiting for a while as well. So I'm very excited for those 2 lists, and I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will see you guys in the next one.